What's up, YouTube? Skills on the platform. Back at you with another one. YouTube, I actually wanted to do something exclusive for you guys today. Spirit moved me to get this one done. Today's lesson is going to be on gods. G-O-D, G-O-D-S. Now, it's specifically about living gods versus dead gods. There is a distinct difference between the two, right? Now, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, the definition of an etymology dictionary, you all know that I go on upon the etymology dictionary, which is the original meaning of words. Now, with the etymological meaning of the word gods, it was interesting because the word came up when I put in the word gods, G-O-D-S, as plural. It came up as Shinto. Interesting. A noun. It says native religious system of Japan. 1727, from Chinese Shinto, way of the gods, from Shin, God, God spirit, plus Teo, way, path, doctrine, related Shintoism. Okay. Now, also, I pulled up the word God. It's a noun. Also, God in Old English, God, supreme being. Deity, the Christian God, image of God. God-like person, which is of uncertain origin. So the term God is uncertain, but we use that term to associate with a higher being, a greater, something greater than we are, right? Now, but we got to kind of dig a little deeper here to get more understanding as to that, right? Even the term God is a relatively new term. When I say new, it's probably maybe a couple of 100 years old, right? In the sense of the age of the planet, how long man has been on the planet, it's a relatively new word. The word God, G-O-D. And we're not going to get into it, but the word God backwards is spelled dog, D-O-G. So it's just something for you to kind of meditate on and contemplate as to why is that. It's not a coincidence, right? We gotta really stop taking things for face value and really do more research and dig a little deeper. We need to stop being surface, stop being shallow, because shallowism is just not gonna get us anywhere. If we're not digging deep into things and really getting to the source of behind what's going on, we're continuously going to be walking around here being fooled. And if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. Simple, right? Now, also, it goes into the term definition of God, as which means uncertain origin, that which is invoked, right? So if we go into a little further, what does invoked mean? Let's look it up quickly here, all right? So let's see what invoked means. I'm going to pull it up here in the etymology. You guys can just pull it up on your own to look it up in the etymology dictionary if you want to follow along with me. Other than that, I'm not going to be showing anything on the screen. I feel like if someone wants to really know something, they'll go look it up. Simple as that. So anybody who's serious about knowing what this is or getting more information, you just go ahead and just follow along. So I'm at the etymology online dictionary, etymononline.com, and just punch in the word we're looking up is invoked or invoke. All right. So the word invoke means, it's a verb, which is an action. So that's something that you do. It's an action word, right? Late 15th century, from Old French, invoker. Invoker, spelled just different ways. Invoke, implore. The Latin, invocare, call upon. So the word God, right, when it comes down to alternate meanings, that which is, because it's in semicolons, right? That which is invoked, to call, right? So it says to call, which is related to vox, voice, invoked, invoking. So to call upon. So the word invoke means to call upon. It's an action, right? So being that the word God also is synonymous with the word invoke, to call, the notion be divine, poured, to pour out. So that same thing, to call out, to pour out, reach out, right? To pour a libation. So just in short, the term God means to call out. So when we say the word God, are we trying to reach someone specific, or we're just trying to just reach out? The question is, what are we reaching out to? Right? What are we reaching out to? Yeah, so what are we reaching out to? Okay? Who are we calling upon? When we say God, who are we calling upon? Something to really consider. Now, also, I went a little further and looked up the word deity. Right? Now, the word deity goes back, and also God goes back to about the 13th century. Deity also goes back to about the 13th century as well. Now, deity is a divine nature, godhood, attributes of God. Late 14th century, a God. So actually, the word God comes from is the 14th century. Deity comes from the 13th century. So the word deity is actually has been around longer, according to dictionary terms and meanings. The word deity has been around at least 100 years longer than the word God. So we got to really look at this, right? Let's dig a little deeper here. A God, the supreme being or self-existing spirit. Ooh. The supreme being or self-existing spirit, to shine, sky, heaven, God. A being to whom a divine or godlike nature is attributed. So, who has a godlike nature here on this planet? The men and women here, right? So we are, in a sense, gods and goddesses on this planet as men and women, correct? Absolutely. Absolutely, because if we are looking to the sky and we're praying and we're asking for certain things, who are we praying to? Do you know who you're praying to? Do you know who you're invoking and calling upon? How do you know you're not calling upon a demon? Because a demon is a lesser god. But we're going to get to that. I'm a little ahead of myself right now. Right? We're going to come full circle with this. Now also, I put up the term, which is all lined up here in the etymology dictionary. Just one, when you pull up one word, it just all lines up. It just really literally underneath one another. So the demigod, a noun, is an inferior or minor deity. Ooh. Are you praying to a demigod? Because that's a form of God also, right? A demigod is a form of a god also. So are you praying to a demigod when you pray? When you call out to the name God, are you calling out to a demigod? Something to think about, something to meditate on. You know what I mean? Because we have to, like I said, we need to stop being shallow. Because we're more than that, right? And it's gonna come on this by the end of this lesson. So a demigod, noun, right? Person, place, or thing. Inferior or minor deity, a being, partly or divine nature. I can mean the offspring of a deity, and a mortal, a man raised to divine rank, or minor god. You might be praying to a minor god, right? How do you know you're not praying to a minor god when you say God? Do you know who you're praying to? Let's keep it moving on. Now, also, the word daemon came up after behind this, which is a noun. A transliteration of Greek daimon, lesser god. Guiding spirit. Now, y'all being guided by some kind of spirits. You don't know what spirit you're being guided by. You're going to know them by their fruit, though, right? A lesser god wouldn't be sitting here trying to tell you this. They wouldn't want you to know. Because the more in the dark you are, easier you can be manipulated and controlled. Tutelary deity. See demon. Demonic. Ooh. Where are we going with this, people? Where are we going with this? Are you telling me that there's different types of gods? Something to think about. Demon is a noun. Now here's the thing about it. The word demon, right, goes back to the 12th century. So the word demon is even older of a term than deity and gods. Why do you think that's so? The term demon is an older term definition than God and deity. I'm going to pause for a minute. Let you guys meditate on that. The word demon is older term than God and deity. Why do you think that is? Well, let's go ahead and see why. The word demon is an evil spirit which typically possesses in people. It needs a host. Right? The demon needs a host. So what better host would be than human beings, people that are around us on a regular basis. Some of these people we're entertaining, or people you've entertained or have entertained or still entertaining, are demons. But it's not the person, it's an evil spirit within them. Now, how you know, how can you identify the spirit? Here's how, because we come with solutions here. We don't just talk about things and we don't have solutions to these things. We have solutions here, all right? On this channel, we come with whatever we may say. We talk about a problem or a situation, we got a solution for it. An evil spirit, malignant. Let's look up the word malignant, because I want to go a little further with this, right? Let's look up the word malignant. Let me pull this up real quick. Malignant. All right, you guys can just follow along. I'm not pulling up on the screen once again. I'm looking up the word malignant in the etymological dictionary, etymononline.com. Now, malignant, in reference to diseases, whoo-hoo, all right, virulent, trending to produce death. Whoa, a spirit that trends to produce death. Malignant, a directly late Latin, all right, acting from malice. Present principle, injure maliciously. So these people are looking to injure you many ways, mentally, physically, spiritually. They're trying to injure you, and they're malicious about it. Wicked, bad-natured. Have you ever run into a bad-natured person? Have you seen and ran into a person that's bad-natured? I think we all have. These people are dealing with demons. It's deeper than this flesh that people put so much emphasis on and stress so much. Wicked, bad-natured, from male, badly. All right? To bear, beget, give birth, beget. All right? Of persons disposed to inflict suffering or cause distress. Is anybody imposing suffering or disposed suffering and inflicting distress onto you? You're dealing with a malignant demon. Right? Poisonous. Simply malign. Wow. Look at that. A supernatural being. An incubus. INCUBUS. And it's not the succubus, but yeah, a succubus too. That's going to be, I'm going to talk about the incubus and the succubus spirit on another video. But it's an incubus and a succubus. Right? A devil, from Latin, demon, deity. Still a god. It's still a god. A demon is still a god. Right? Because we know we're gods and goddesses on this planet, right? But then you got to divide it even further. You have demon gods, right? Devils, demon gods. Then you have higher gods, because these are lesser gods, right? What does it say? Endymion, demon, lesser god. So that means if there's a lesser god, that means there's a higher god, right? There's higher gods and lesser gods running around on this planet. So not only you have gods and goddesses, now you can take those gods and goddesses and you can separate each one into two different categories. You have your men that are gods. You have your men that are gods, right? But then you have the lesser gods and you have the higher gods among men. And then among women, you have the lesser gods, and then you have the higher gods among women. This is deep, people. This is deep. You have higher and lesser gods. Lesser gods, guiding spirits, tutelary deities. Let's go on. Something including souls of the dead. So these lesser gods are souls of the dead. One's genius, a lot, or fortune, from divider, someone that divides, that causes division, destruction, right? But they're also provider of fortunes or destinies. That's why a lot of people fall into certain groups, because they're looking to acquire. They feel like that they have to go through these types of, I guess, rituals, or these types of groups or certain people to be able to get the things that they want in life. They're not connected with their higher selves. They're connected with the lower selves, the demonic spirits, right? From the divider, God has the heathen idol. Shouldn't worship idols, right? Unclean spirits, literally a hell knight. Supernatural agent or intelligence lower than God, ministering spirit. Ooh, someone could be a ministering spirit and still be a demon. They could be ministering demonic things to you. For instance, think about the angel and devil. I'm going to get into that shortly. Destructive or hideous person. Have you ran into these kind of people before? I have. They ain't nothing nice to play with. They ain't nothing nice. But see, that's the thing though. As demonic as they are, when they come up against that light, they go blind. As an evil agency personified. You have the lower self and the higher self. The lower self is the animal-like creature, which is deeply rooted in our system, deeply rooted in the system of today. Social media, people using it for negative. It can be used for positive as well, but a lot of people using it as a negative. Its the main goal is to survive and feel good. These people, the lower self, these lesser gods, these demons, these demonic spirits, which are lesser gods, right? They look into its main goal is to survive, survival mode, destruction mode, and feel good. Anybody who's looking just to feel good all the time, that person's questionable. Very highly questionable. Oh, how I feel. How I feel. If they're always worried about how they feel, that's a problem. That's a big problem. Then you have the higher self. The evolved creature, which we call human. It strives for progress. What we talk about on this channel, we talk about progressing, doing better, improving lives. That's what this is about, right? Progress, productivity, production, producing, creating, building, increasing, upgrade, right? Bettering your lives, bettering yourselves. That's the higher nature of who we are. Its main purpose is to develop creature that we call human. It strives to progress in the world peace and progress in world peace. If you're not looking to get world peace, you're the problem. You are the problem if you're not striving for world peace. You need to probably put in front of a firing squad, taken out, or thrown in a jail cell until you get right. Because you're not striving for world peace. So what are you looking for? Destruction? You're trying to destroy your fellow man for what? For so-called money? The fake paper dollars that everybody go crazy about and willing to kill each other for? Which is just ink and paper? If anything, go get some gold and silver. That's the real money. Right? That's the true value. We used to trade for things and, trade for gold and silver. That's how money came about. Currency. Right? The exchange. Now people just are all messed up. Backwards. That's a whole nother story though. Another topic for another day. We're not getting into that specifically. We're talking about lower and higher gods today. Right? Evolved creatures. we call humans, it strives for progress and world peace. Its main purpose is to develop and to help the fellow humans. If you're not here to help your fellow human, you are the problem. Simple. If you're not here to help others to do better, to help them get better, and there's several ways you can do that, you are the problem. You are the demon on this planet who needs to be eliminated. To advance humans. That's what it's about. That's what we talk about. That's what we're about on this channel. Advancement of human life. Being better, doing better, living better, traveling. Finance is never a problem. Right? It's all made for us to have, right? So why certain people are struggling, others are not? Lack of knowledge. They're too focused on the lower self. They're focused on surviving and feeling good. If you're consistently in survival mode, that means you're not even using your full mental capacity to get yourself out of it. That means you're not even tapping into your higher self. It's like the devil and the angel analogy, right? On your shoulder. We used to see that commercial a lot in the early 90s or so, right? Devil on one shoulder, angel on the other shoulder. Devil telling you, you could do it. Man, you could do whatever. Anything. Angel's like, you know you're not supposed to do that. You know better than that. Right? But people tend to go ahead and lean towards that devil. But that it's not even a devil and angel on your shoulder. It's just simply telling you you're focused, all right, on the shoulder. What's above the shoulder? Your head. Use that head. Use that brain, in other words, your mind. So what is that telling you, right? That devil and angel on each shoulder is literally your mind. The two parts of your mind battling against one another. You know you're not supposed to be doing certain things, but you out here doing it. You know that it's immoral. You know it goes against your true higher nature. Stop trying to feel good all the time. That's the problem with you people. You're always looking to feel good. You're always looking just to survive. Why don't you thrive? Focus on thriving. Sit down, come up with a plan. And if you don't know, ask someone who's doing better than you. That's what it's all about. Look for a mentor, someone that's in a position that you would like to be in, and sit down and learn something. That's all it takes. Y'all be so prideful and feel like you can't go to somebody and ask for help or ask somebody to, give you some type of tips on how they accomplish their success. A lot of Americans, y'all just be too prideful. That's why a lot of these people in other countries are smoking us when it comes down to knowledge, when it comes down to achieving success. We're supposed to be the first world country, right? America's supposed to be the number one country on the planet. Why are the people so stupid? Why are the people in America so dumb? You know why? Because they don't want to learn. That's pretty much it. It's common sense, but common sense is not so common, right? The living God versus dead gods, demons versus the higher gods, the angels, lesser gods, higher gods, right? We're creators, supposed to be striving to do better, live better, be better. We're not supposed to be living in mediocrity. These things were created for us to have at our disposal. Why do some people have it and others don't? There's something you need a question you need to ask yourself. Why is it that person have all these things that I want, but for whatever reason, I'm not getting it? Do you find yourself surviving and always looking to feel good? Because I tell you, hard work sometimes doesn't feel good, but it's necessary. Because sometimes you got to go through that little hard work, that tough time to get to a point where you can sit back and relax and enjoy the fruits of your labor. You got to work. Who doesn't like to sit back and relax and enjoy themselves? Who doesn't like a vacation? Who doesn't like to relax and feel good? There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're only tapped into your lower self, you're not getting anything done. Then you wonder why you don't have anything. Then you wonder why you always trying to figure things out. Because you're too tapped into your lower nature. You're only focused on your lower nature. You don't even consider your higher nature. Which is to help humans advance. You don't think if you try to help others advance, you're not going to automatically advance? Of course you are. Because everything you do, it's like you get a check in the book of life. It's like you get a check in the Akashic Records. Like, okay, this person did that. They help people. Okay, cool. Now, this is that good karma that's going to come back to you. That's that greatness that's going to come back. Okay, they're going to get this. It's designated to come back to them at this point in their life. They may get it. You may get it sooner than expected, though. But you put out that energy to help someone else besides yourself. Right? A lot of people too selfish these days. Nothing wrong with thinking about yourself, because there are times where you have to focus on yourself, build yourself up, and when you build yourself up, now you're able to do for others. Right? There's a time for that. So it's a balance. It's a balancing act. You got to balance your life correctly. Anyways, higher gods and lesser gods. Which one are you? Which one are you? Like, comment, and subscribe. Also hit the bell notification so you can get future videos like this. Okay. Also, for the ones that want to do better in their life, who want to strive to do better, I suggest you get yourself an etymology. Study the etymology. Also, get yourself a numerology reading. So that way you can have a better understanding of yourself and who you are. My email's in the comments. Okay. You can reach out to me for a numerology chart, for a complete reading of who you are and your numbers. So that way you can live better, do better, be better, have more. Peace.